Here's a question from online. How do I block out other voices and focus on God's voice? One of the reasons we have worship services is to feed your spiritual ears to hear.
As you watch this video, open your spirit and prepare for a shift. Let's get into it.
And he said unto them, he that hath, let him. What the Spirit is saying, that's what God wants you to know. He that hath an ear, let him hear. Okay? Let me do this. Sit down for a minute. I'm gonna follow chorus lead. Pastor Cord did something last week. I'm gonna do it this week. Yeah, I know, I saw it. I was watching too. She taught on the names of God, didn't she? Yeah, so what she did, somebody get a mic. What she did, I'm gonna do it for about 10 minutes. And you that's online, if you get a good question online, you all send it to me. I'll answer a couple of questions online. I'm gonna take about 10 minutes. Who's got the first question? Okay, where's the mic? I asked for the mic. Somebody ought to be moving with the mic. Yeah, thank you. She's coming. I'm excited. Calm down. Okay, yeah. I have everybody running. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Yes.
A rooting system.
How do
we build a rooting system? You're teaching we need a routine system, ROOTING. How do we build that?
In what area? Are we talking about families or business or?
Family, business, personal relationships, just kind of. Does it depend?
Each one, the answer is different to every question.
Okay.
Like for a lot of times in business, our businesses don't succeed because we go for the glam and we don't have the infrastructure.
Okay.
So you want to build an infrastructure.
Yes.
And if you only got limited resources, you want to put it in the legal infrastructure of the business.
Yes.
More than the glam.
Okay.
There are delis that are open in New York that still have the furniture they had 100 years ago, and they're still open. And if we owned it, we would have redecorated it and blinged it out and put chandeliers in it, and they put it in the profit, and they have a rooting system.
So in a
personal relationship,
yes,
I'm coming. I'm gonna get there too. In a personal relationship, the rooting system has to be built deep by not making demands before you're in demand. See, we go in making demands of people that we don't have enough demand to make demands. And so you want to build a rooting system of stability, of loyalty, of connectivity, of understanding and transparency. All of that is your underground work that has to be built. So you know why? So when something goes wrong, you have something to hold on to. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so for example, you can go through midlife crisis. I can go through midlife crisis. You can go through menopause. We can withstand it if we had roots. I can love you now over who you used to be.
Come on. Yeah.
And I know you would do different if you could.
Yes.
But if I marry you in the middle of the crisis, then I don't have enough roots to have anything to hold on to stabilize me in the storm.
So would you say compatibility?
Compatibility is a part of it, but longevity is better. See, longevity is better because trust takes time. We are never commanded to trust another person. We are commanded to forgive them, but we're not commanded to trust them, because trust is not something I can make myself do. I can make myself forgive you, but I can't make myself trust you. You can make me trust you by consistency. If you just be consistent, if you just be there long enough, eventually trust is going to be a result of your consistency. Consistency is important, and you have to build a rooting system. You have to build a rooting system by being there when I'm in trouble, being there when I'm in a crisis, and you have to build a rooting system, not only by giving love, because I can already see people typing on the line. No, I can't see it. I can see them say, I did all that and it still fell apart. Not only is it important that you give it, but that you find somebody who can receive it and reciprocate it, because it has to be mutual. It has to be mutual. It can't be one-sided. This is not witchcraft. You can't make me love you. You see, and some of you have made good investments in bad ground. Okay, so the first thing in a relationship you want to know from a companion, and you can't just ask them this, you have to observe this. Are you safe to love? Are you safe to love? And one of the ways you can observe it is watching how they handle other people they say they love. If you've divorced everybody that came into your life and you can't get along with nobody else in your life, what in the world would make me think that I'm going to be the one exception in your life that's going to beat the odds? The best predictor of future behavior is past practice. If you see somebody who has had several long-standing, loyal relationships that continued over a period of time, you begin to understand it is within your ability to be loyal. Some people don't have the ability to be loyal, and Jesus said, in essence, you are casting your pearls before the swine. I'll take two more. Here's a question from online. How do I block out other voices and focus on God's voice? That's a good question. That's a good question. One of the things, and I could spend a long time on this. One of the reasons we have worship services is to feed your spiritual ears to hear. We have spirit, just like we have 5 senses in the flesh, we have 5 senses in the spirit. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. That doesn't mean he that hath a physical ear. That's everybody. That means somebody who has an ability to hear what the Spirit is saying. How do I get my spiritual ear exercised? By worship. Because worship makes you practice communicating with somebody you cannot see with your natural eye, nor hear with your natural ear. And as that relationship becomes strong, prayer does it. Worship does it, communication with God does it, until he becomes more and more voluminous in your life. But you can't watch TV all day, scroll through Facebook, interact with friends, listen at crazy music all day, and expect to hear God's voice. If you want to hear God's voice louder than other voices, spend more time with God. Get a rooting system with God. Let's get you on a prayer diet. Let's get you on a prayer diet. Let's get you on a worship pattern where every day, I know you're busy. If you don't do it, but when you're in the shower, let's make that time God's time. While you're driving to work, cut off the music and start communing with God until it becomes something that becomes routine to you, and then God's voice will be louder. The other voices will always be there, because God intends for there to be a trial in your Garden of Eden. If you kill the other voices, then you don't choose him. So it's not about killing the other voices, it's about calming them down so that you can say, God, I hear them, but I prefer you. I'll take another. Am I helping somebody? How long did it take for the descendants of Levi to be blessed again? We know it had to be at least 400 and some years before, because they went into idolatry. They went into Egypt and they started seeking other gods. It's not that it took God 400 years to do it, but they had turned away from God, and this is why. They had become enslaved by the Egyptians, and they took on the ways of the Egyptians. And so God had to separate them from the environment that had infected them to purify purified them in the wilderness. The Bible said he proved them in the wilderness. So the word prove is to test. He's pruning them. He's untangling their roots from they had become so much like the Egyptians that when they got ready to build a god, they built the Egyptian god as an image. You become who you hang around. Okay? And that's why it took so long. So there is no specific length of time. It's how fast do you turn. God said, if you return unto me, I will return unto you, and I shall be your God, and ye shall be my people. So it's not how long does it take God to do it, it's how long does it take you to do it. Next question. I'll take one more question.
How do you truly surrender? I am literally the willing vessel. I'm the spiritual curse breaker. I am the one. And I always got blamed for things when I was young because I didn't know certain things. I didn't have that model before me. And so now, in the past couple of years, it feels like I get all the backlash. I get all the rejection. And I've been independent for a while. But there get times where I need help, and I'm just tired of having to be the strong friend all the time. I pour into people every single day, even when I'm empty. And I know that some people say you can't pour from an empty cup. It's just in me to pour into people no matter of my circumstance. I've put myself in places, where I aspire to be. I invest in myself even when I can't even finish paying my bills like I believe. But how do you truly, and I guess it's the second question, but how do you truly keep believing when your own family really just don't believe in you? They see you for who you are now, but not who you are becoming.
You don't need them to believe it. You don't need them to believe it. You really, a prophet is without honor in his own country. And it's not unusual for the people closest to you to not see you in that light, because that's not the relationship that they have with you. The relationship that they have with you has nothing to do with your destiny. It has something to do with your history. And their connection to you is as a family member, not a vision supporter. So stop going to people who don't see it, trying to get support from them. I'm not saying leave them alone. Still love them as a family member, but don't connect your spiritual destiny to somebody who is just a family member. And I hear pain in your voice. Yeah, I hear pain in your voice. And there's two things I want to say to you. Oh, glory. There's two things I want to say to you. The reason everybody uses you up is because you draw people who need you and not people who feed you. When you get in a room with people who can feed you, you don't feel worthy of being in the room that you're in. So you find yourself gravitating toward people who need you, because then you can lead them, but they leech off of you. Okay, so what I'm saying to you, what I want you to do is to go into rooms where people are above you and resist the temptation to run until you own the new you on the inside. You're trying to get everybody else to believe something about you that you're struggling to believe about yourself. And you're hurting for support because you need reinforcement, because the voice on the inside says you're not worthy of what you're believing God to do. And I want you to receive this for yourself, because I believe I can help you. I believe I can help you. I believe I can help you. If you listen to what I'm telling you, it will really, really help you. You're going to go into the room and you're going to feel unworthy, and you're going to feel uncomfortable, and you're going to feel incapable, and you're going to feel scared. Stay anyway. Stay there. The only reason you feel uncomfortable, unworthy, is not because you're not worthy of it. It's because you haven't rooted yet. If you stay in the room long enough, it will become your norm, and you will have a rooting system to support you. Instead, you're trying to root with your family and not with your destiny. You don't have to try to root with your family, because your family is supposed to love you for who you are, not what you have, not what you drive, not how many degrees you have. They're supposed to love you just because you are. Okay? We should never prostitute our family where we make our relationship with them predicated on their performance. You don't have to earn my love to be my child. I'm gonna love you anyway. I can't help it. I'm gonna love you if you're a drug dealer. I might be hurt, but I'm gonna love you if you're a drug dealer because you're my child, okay? That's a whole different relationship. I am not the supporting system necessarily that's gonna take you into your destiny. I am the supporting system that got you here. What got you here may not be what takes you there. You understand? You see that? You see it, don't you? Okay, now watch this. The way you see yourself makes certain types of people drawn to you. And they are drawn to you because they are reflecting how you see you. Okay? Now, I'm not saying get rid of all of those people who need you, because there's a certain degree of gratification you get out of serving and helping and doing all that. I'm saying to irrigate your desert and put streams in your desert by streaming water into those dry places. The reason you are drying out is that you don't have no water coming into your desert, and that water is going to come from other places. But the funny thing about the water, when it comes, you're going to be scared to drink it. Because it's unfamiliar and you're a little bit scared of it. And so you go back and get more people who need you. And then you're empty and you're draining. You say, I keep pouring out and I keep pouring out. And you say, hey, they say you can't pour out, but I can. There's nothing wrong with pouring out if you're taking in. So I want you to be intentional. Here's your homework. I want you to write down all the people in your life who need you. And then I want you to write down all the people in your life who feed you. And I want you to notice how short the list is of the people who feed you versus the people who need you. And I want you to, here's your homework, is to lengthen that list of people who feed you. And it doesn't always mean that you have to be in their face. It can come through podcasts. It can come through going to operas and plays. It can come through going through places off the beaten path where you have never been before and wouldn't think to go. You should go. And you should go and you should meet people and you should make friends until you become comfortable in the conversation in places where you've never been before. Okay? I want you to remodel your life, your wardrobe, your appearance, your vernacular, your tone, your temperament to where you're going, not where you've been. When you go back into the areas where you've been, you can always speak that language. You know that language. You didn't have to learn that language. You know how to speak that language. But I want you to adopt the language of your destiny and not just your history. And this is going to take time. Here's the good news. It can start in church. You know why? In a church like this, there's all kind of people. There's people from the shelter. There's people that are homeless. There are people that are entrepreneurs. There are people who are coming up from the shelter going to be entrepreneurs. There are people with degrees. There are people with doctorates. There are people who can't read. In a church, there are all kinds of people. You get to choose where you sit. You get to choose who you connect with. You get to choose who you go to eat with. And get in some small circles. If it's one or two people, it don't need to be 20. Just one or two people that are going in the direction you're going, and hop in the car. hop in the car, go along for the ride. Get into something that is positive. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because I think I'm talking to you and I'm talking through you. Get into an environment of people who feel whatever it is that you're trying to be. If it's artsy, go to art shows. You're an entrepreneur. Okay, give her the mic back so they can hear.
Yes, so I'm an entrepreneur. I actually did network marketing starting in 2020 of a health and wellness franchise. I'm a life coach, getting my life together, but I have been able to just grow in different aspects. I do credit repair as well, and I just became a member not too long ago, and I love you because you are just so unorthodox. And I feel like if I want to go be a doctor tomorrow and I want to be a photographer the next day, then that's what you could do. Yeah. God has placed so many gifts in me that is like so amazing, you know, and I struggle sometimes with that because I need to figure out how can I impact people through what God has blessed me, but also how can it be sustainable?
So you're a life coach and you're an entrepreneur. Is that the entrepreneur part? What else do you do?
Yes, so credit repair and a health and wellness franchise.
Okay, everything you're doing is fixing people.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's telling me something. That lines up with the profile. What you chose to go into is what you're complaining about. Because if you're a health and wellness coach and if you're a credit repair person, you're making your money from people who need you. I want you to pick something, don't have to give that up, but I want you to pick something that feeds you to balance that out. Okay, to balance that out. To balance that out. I don't hear you talking about being connected with groups of people that feed you, that you can be a little girl in the room.
Yes, so when I say I've been investing in myself, I have literally been putting 2 weeks ago, I went to Atlanta for a mastermind, Neil's mastermind, and literally just uncomfortable. My last 2 years of my life been uncomfortable. 2 years ago, I was homeless. I lived in California, grew up in Compton on Proud Rouge Street, and literally took a step of faith and moved here about almost 2 years ago. So it's a long story, and I don't want to hold you.
Hold up, let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
That you are not getting. You are doing good. You are doing good. You are doing good. I want that to break through the wall that you have built in front of yourself. You don't clap for you. You need to clap for you. You need to celebrate you. If you were homeless, you grew up in Compton, and now you're doing all of that stuff, you are doing much better than you are feeling. Your emotions are still homeless. Your emotions have not caught up with where you're at yet. And I want to bring your emotions into where you are right now. You are doing good. You deserve to be here. You belong here. You're in the place you're supposed to be. Your emotions eventually will get the memo. They don't get the memo at first because they're still carrying the scars from all the things you said and didn't say that happened to you in your life. Your emotions are still back there. And we're going to bring them up here by celebrating where you are right now. Yeah. And I don't know what your financial level is now, but when your financial level gets strong enough, I want you to get therapy.
Here at TD Jake's ministry.
Good.
I'm trying.
Good. Get the therapy. And the reason you get the therapy is not to say you're crazy.
No,
it's not to say anything.
I need to move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to move on. Yes. Your emotions need to come out of that. You know why? You've been traumatized. You've been traumatized. And the reason you don't clap for yourself is the walls that you built to keep the pain out also won't let the love in. Okay, so you build the wall to protect yourself, to survive the vicissitudes of life. The problem with the wall is now nothing comes in. Okay, nothing comes in, and you don't know how to tear down your own wall. Therapy helps you to brick by brick tear down the wall so that you can receive the sunlight on the other side. The wolves are gone, but the sunlight can't get in. Love can't get in, and the clapping doesn't come from another person if it doesn't come from you. Okay? So that's a process that's going to take time, that's going to take going back to the trauma, and let's see how deep it is and how bad it is, and why you can't cough that up and get that out and get you on wellness so that your emotions can catch up with where you are now. You got it? Clap your hands, give God a praise. How many people got something out of that? Yeah. If you're watching online, you stayed online all this time, I must be speaking your language. I spoke something tonight that I pray touches your heart, touches your soul, touches your spirit, and changes your life. I'm so glad that you chose to watch tonight The Potter's House here in Dallas so I could teach you a second chance at a blessing. You do have a second chance at a blessing. My sister had a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. You can have a second chance at a blessing. Everybody rise. I'm going to close. My Father and my God, as I stand here tonight, I thank you for your goodness. I thank you for your mercy. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your word being sure and being absolute. I thank you for what we learned tonight about your word, what we learned, Lord, what we learned about Jacob, what we learned about Levi, what we learned about Simeon, what we learned about Moses, most importantly, what we learned about you, and lastly, what we learned about ourselves. I pray, God, that we go home better than we were when we came in, and that the word of God will dwell in our hearts richly by faith. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you. Go in peace. Love you.